All right. Yes, this is Dr. Mia Lueth. Um, Again, having issues with my voice. Um, Pardon me, Daddy Ranky or whoever the hell you are. Okay, stay out of my X account, please, please. Yes. Someone decided to go in there and change the email this afternoon. Right. Well, that's also theft of someone else's intellectual property. All right, great. I mean, really, it's just that's true. Very true. And Creasesinger Radio, which is an original, right? Which, by the way, yes, is standard marked. So stop fucking with my X account. Thank you very much. Okay. Right. We're gonna have to. That's what I'm saying. See, now I'm just looking for the lawyers that quite literally would eat their grandmas. I mean, I don't have that much time left on Earth, so you know, don't be fucking around. Don't be fucking around. I put stuff out in the open because I don't get proper information when I should be getting that proper information. And I'm just being honest. Okay, now I know people don't like the honesty, but that's just too bad. I don't care. It's better I be honest and put out some realistic life stuff than have politicians and policymakers running around thinking everything is A-OK and great because people have been ass kissing and sycophanting. Okay. So, yeah, NHL season's back on, which is good news for me. Um, I will probably spend less time online chatting because it's just constant negativity. It's also constant people wanting the Winnipeg Jets to lose on purpose. Okay? Like, even that's it. Do you understand? Like, how are you guys not getting this? Quite frankly, you gave up on your team and you think you know better than people with like combined 100 or so more years of experience in the National Hockey League. And I disagree with a lot of you. Okay. Like, the hope is that Stanimal, Logan Stanley wants to stay. So I'm sure that there'll be some moves because the trade deadline is coming up. I don't know, 7 days, something like that. I mean, I try to be honest, right? This is different kind of content than what people are used to, I guess. But when I pass away, it'll all still be here. But yes, I am. I've already contacted a lawyer. And yes, someone in the legal system to inform them that someone has attempted to hijack my X account, which is actually, yes, standard marked. Okay? And so is all everything put under uh, Creasesinger Radio, which is also standard marked. So you are attempting to steal intellectual property. Right. I have contacted law enforcement and I have contacted a lawyer. So we will find the culprit and you will be brought to justice. I mean, it's not a good idea to test me. I mean, I've had to quit smoking again. Finally, yes, again, no smokes. Change all my diet because I can only eat soft, mushy foods, which is very depressing in many, many ways. Okay. But the fact that the Winnipeg Jets may not make the playoffs is the least of my concerns because this is the National Hockey League, right? There are 15 other teams who aren't going to make the playoffs. The shit happens in this league. That fucking happens. Everybody, I mean, wow. Like, I I try to I try to be as keep my composure the entirety of the time that I am chatting with people who claim to be Winnipeg Jets fans. And the most outspoken of them gave up on that hockey team in November. And I'm not that kind of person. And I'm not going to get mad at a hockey club and demand things from them because they didn't make the playoffs. I mean, until there's 0% chance, then it's still possible. Okay? Until there is 0% chance that they're going to not make the playoffs, it's still possible. Okay? I'm hoping Sanimal signs. From what I understand, Jonathan Tace doesn't want to leave. He's good sticking around. There's all these, Monday morning quarterbacks and couch freaking GMs who it should be this much and it should be like this and it should be like that and we should be like this and we should be like this and it needs to be like this and they're not going to tolerate the blah 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 the mushy middle. Okay, everybody, but go out and visit nature and meditate on warm, happy thoughts. Some of you, it's just absolutely wrong to even insinuate that a GM, right, make moves that fucks up a team so they can be in last place to get the good draft pick. Okay? That's just wrong. It's just fucking wrong. It's also against the law. I don't know what else to tell people. You keep trying to backpedal and backstep oh, we meant Latin America. I know what you meant. You quite literally, if the players refuse to lose on purpose, you want the GM to tank the fucking team on purpose. And I think that is a quitter loser mentality. Okay? I'm just blunt honest about it. So, yeah, my health. I mean, I have to get my thyroid nodule checked. I mean, it's just constant back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I got to be honest with you. I stopped with the DMs altogether because many of them were scammers. And online scammers, it's just you can find more productive, better things to do with your lives. And anybody, what? I got nothing. I got no money for anybody at all. I don't even have enough for me. I'm also really, I don't really like money. So I don't really chase it that often. But, right. And I got to do all these things that doctors say. And I got to admit, like, holy crap, medical people. If you could hear yourselves, like I'm supposed to be making a diary of everything I eat. I'm supposed to be making a diary of everything I do when I sleep. I got to have a sleep journal. I got to have this kind of, right? And then I got to have this. And then I got to keep track of this. And then I got to do this. And then I got to do this, that, the other thing. And anybody who, claims they want to be my friend or whatever, and you tell me on DM you're going to contact your lawyer to see how you can help me. Okay. You and your lawyer are not part of my care team. And me finding work should be the last thing that anybody attempts to bother me with. Okay? Like my health and doing all these things that I need to do, the tests, the tracking, all that other stuff, is like a full-time job. And my friends in Canada, I mean, you got beat. But to be honest with everybody, I was watching the Finns because I think the Finns just, like, maybe next time around the Olympics are just gonna, like, just jump up and shark everybody. Just true. But yeah, I mean, I get it. But then, I get on Winnipeg Sports Talk and it's just like, there was probably just nervous laughter. People don't know what to do when they're in the presence of a, president who supposedly runs it right. So I think some of the males just laughed because they didn't know what else to do. There are a lot of judgy, highly opinionated people who get on Winnipeg Sports Talk. And I got to be honest with you, like, I am not like that. I am not like most of you, apparently. And I don't wishy washy. I don't go hating this player for, a month and a half and then loving the player for 2 weeks and then hating the player for another 3 days and then hating. I mean, some of you love the team, okay? But if the team is losing, then you don't want to have any part in it. Okay, well, the maturity levels of the people, right, talking online about the Winnipeg Jets is fairly, yes, not very. I mean, there are a few, and there are a few who don't mind discussing, trying to get opinions, but I mean, it seems like a lot of them think they know way better than people who've done it their whole lives, people who are around it all the time, people who study it all the time, people who have certain college degrees, people who, go into the playoffs and all kinds of other things. I just disagree with a lot of ice hockey fans who are that ridiculously negative and opinionated. I mean, I just, I could tell some are kidding around. I know. But when it comes right to it, it's just like, okay, well, none of you can do what they do for a living. Or almost none of you. Right. And those of you who, on out of one side of your mouth are talking like, oh, they should have, psychologists and all this. And right, because their mental health and the blah blah blah, and the mental part of the game, which you guys don't know much about. It's very abundantly clear to me that you don't. Some of those intangibles you don't want to talk about. If I mention the fact that Jonathan Toews has a lot of experience in the National Hockey League and in the playoffs, and as a what do you call it? A captain. Okay, I honestly do not think that the Winnipeg Jets proper and the upper deck and the people making those decisions were thinking in any way that Jonathan Toews from 2015 was what they were going to be putting on ice. I mean, you have so very little respect for a GM and people who've been working in business a long time, for owners who love ice hockey, and some of them trying to save franchises. And people who barely have any lives at all. Because these guys don't have, like, I don't even understand when they have time to reproduce or procreate. I have no idea. Especially during Olympic year. None of you want to be reasonable. I mean, it's just, I don't, I just don't, I don't agree with a lot of people who get online and talk about ice hockey. I really don't. And I don't, I can't, I refuse to say fan. I'm an ice hockey lifer, currently unpaid. I'm an ice hockey lover. I don't agree with a lot of the public speculation and just, I mean, you guys verbal bash hockey players. Like, that's why I don't want any of the hockey players. Like, none of the Jets should be looking at any of the chats. Like, don't do that. Just trust me. Don't do that. Right? It. I mean, seriously. Like, oh, well, he's just a waste of time and space, and blah blah blah. And we're gonna waste money here, and this guy couldn't stop a beach ball, and yada blada blada blada. I mean, have some respect for your fellow human being. 99.9% of the people who are constantly talking about ice hockey could not play ice hockey in today's National Hockey League. So I am going to just keep mentioning, okay, well, no, Mr. Shovel Day Off and the upper decks, it is not a good idea to try and maneuver your team so that they come in last or second to last place. Okay, yes, at least 5 teams come in the mushy middle. I mean, it's if that's what happens, okay, well, they'll have company. They're still building for the playoffs. People already who swear they know have already assessed that there's no future in any of the moves. But yet, it's some of the same people, right, who have been saying, oh, put up the moves, bring up the moves, bring up the young guys, bring up the young guys, bring up the young guys, quick, bring up the young guys, bring up the young guys, bring up the young guys. Over and over ad nauseum online. Well, for one thing, we got to make some roster fucking space for them. You get it? Okay, a defenseman just came up from the Moose. The only way that was possible was because JMO went on IR. Okay? Like, there are intangibles that just don't get addressed. Barely. And I've spent time. Okay? There are guys, right? Independent press, Winnipeg Free Press, yes, and who are work closely with the team, and they probably know more than a lot of fans sitting around. Do you guys have jobs? I mean, some of these people are quite literally online for 6 hours a fucking day. On game days. Do any of you, like, do you guys have jobs? Was clear. I don't. Right. My job is going to doctor's appointment, and getting poked and prodded, and listening to my voice deteriorate, and changing my fucking diet. And they're gonna try and tell me I can't drink coffee. Yeah, they can fucking kiss my ass. I don't even like this stuff. I've had it sitting out for 3 hours, and there's still like, you can't hear it. A bunch left. I'm probably gonna pour it out. Why? Zero sugar, which means they put a sugar substitute. I just fundamentally disagree. Now, some of them are paid press, but even the paid press, Winnipeg Jets, like, hi, has anybody really, gone into any great length in writing or on your podcast to describe the intangibles that someone like Jonathan Tays, okay, and guys who just show up to work every day and make the guys in the room laugh, and guys who, it could be that Gus Nyquist, is around. Guys, see, that's the thing about Gus Nyquist. He doesn't, try to get rid of the puck because he feels a little pressure, right? He's older, okay? There are things that younger guys can watch and see. And I can understand why Gus Nyquist got a contract. I mean, the kind of flagrant balls that one of the younger punks online chatting about the Winnipeg Jets called called two of the moves that Chevy in the upper deck, because Chevy's not alone. He's got other people he gets information from. Okay, it is kind of a group effort. It's a team effort, right? All right. Said that, like, a couple of moves he made were asinine. And I'm like, well, congratulations, kid. You can play Scrabble. But you would be a really shitty GM. Okay? And I still will never understand, and I'll be honest, why Kevin Cheveldayoff's, mid-season statement and conversations, and right. I mean, why would that piss you guys off so badly? Because you didn't hear what you wanted to hear. And some of the press. So, like, your inexperience is showing. Okay? But there should be more and more people willing to talk about the fact that the Winnipeg Jets are one of 32 teams. And their captain couldn't start with them. And injuries back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And then, trying to find the right kind of line for this and the blah, blah, blah for that. And I realize y'all with your numbers. Well, that one's in minus 17, and well, that one, it's got this many points in it. And I'm like, well, considering what's going on, and considering that, basically most of the skaters, especially the goal scorers, all slumped at once, you can expect uh, more negative numbers than positive numbers. But what do you guys know about what any of these guys bring to the locker room? What do you guys know about what any of these guys do to keep team mentality? What do you guys really know about what it takes mentally to go through a streak like that and still wake up every day hopeful that they're going to learn, they're going to play better, and they're going to win? Most people know absolutely nothing about that. Okay? Very, very difficult mental game. Very, very difficult. It's hard enough to be on skates. It's hard enough to be wearing gear. It's hard enough to be passing a puck around that's this big. And they smack into each other and they jab at each other. Okay? I mean, it's hard enough. Professional ice hockey is a very difficult sport to play. And any of you who think that it's okay for a GM to try and purposely tank a team by not making moves, trading for shitty players, you definitely have never been um, an athlete to the point where there's pretty high stakes between win or lose. Okay? This has been a very trying season for the guys on the team. And yeah, the coaching staff too. But for the guys on the team, it's been a very trying season. But yet, they still show up. They still have hope. They still understand that some cases they're playing pretty well. Just can't get that mother grabber in there. And they do find ways. But they can take a few games, and not every team is the same. So it's not like they're playing the same team like they do in the playoffs. I just disagree with a lot of the more outspoken types who get on the chats. And I would definitely not even call a person a fan if they refuse to cheer for the team. Like, oh, okay, well, now that you're winning, I like you. Like, I wouldn't want that person to be my friend. I certainly would not, right, want to be in a relationship with that kind of person. It's been a very trying, mentally tough season for the Jets. And, you know, playoffs or not, some of the Moose are still getting a chance to at least spend a little bit of time up with the club. These people aren't robots or gadgets, and numbers do lie sometimes, especially statistics. And really, you should be using behavioral statistics and not a different kind of statistics, because you're dealing with human beings. I mean, goalie stats definitely can look different between Western and Eastern Conference or between division. And, anybody wanted to give Eric Comrie a hard time about his save percentage. I'm like, well, there's two goalies in this league, I know for sure, play for the Montreal Canadiens, who have lower save percentages. Their save percentages are actually, air quote, worse than Eric Comrie's. And Connor Hellebuck's save percentage has decreased and isn't looking as good as it did last year. Why? Because the whole team's been struggling. And they're trying to adjust. And they're trying to learn on the fly. So I find a lot of the more outspoken people you're talking game out of your britches. You're out of your freaking league. Like, too big for your britches. I disagree. I disagree. And most of you got no actual proof, because what you think is proof really isn't. So I can tell that however much life I got left in me, as an ice hockey fan, particularly the Winnipeg Jets fan, I can tell this is going to be difficult for me. I can tell that some people think that they're the king of the fucking world, and they're not. And I've been watching this with other clubs. But this happens to be a club where it's just like, holy fucking shit. Do any of you work for the club? I mean, well, get rid of this one. He's just a piece of trash. Maybe, hey, please stop being hockey fans then. That would be great. That would be great. People are very negative. They're players and people who've been doing this. Yep, you're right. Because for some reason, they think they know everybody's job better. And I disagree with that. And the mental aspects of this game are, contingencies and things that most of you don't even think about. But you're right. Hockey insiders and those that make statements, yes, they're very negative. You're right. But that is not going to change the way I, right, cheer a team on. And the way I love on a franchise. And it's not going to change how much I love ice hockey at all. But, I didn't really want to get into too much conversation Winnipeg sports talk. Um, I'm not really a political kind of person. And I know that there's a lot about Canada I don't know. I'm just not like a large portion of the human race. Which, by the way, it is just the human race. That's it. Just the human race. That is all. Now, today, I probably overdid it. I tried to go to a group therapy thing, and I took a shower, did all the cleaning, and then I went to an hour of a program where health home nurse was discussing all the things we can do for heart health. And then I went over to eat a little bit of sloppy Joe because I can eat that. Right, that's softer, or that's considered softer small bite food. I don't wear makeup. I don't really do my eyebrows either. But I know, like every so often I'll go like this, and if they're like way out and wacky, I'll like. But you know, like just taking a shower wore me out. And I have a feeling, I'm glad there's no hockey game on tonight. The hockey game's on tonight. For me, it's a late game, 10 p.m. Eastern, right? Uh, that's kind of late, but you know, I'll just lose a little sleep. But like, I don't have like years and years and years left in me. Okay, that's just true. So there's some things that I wanted to do when I was younger, but as I got older, I realized, okay, well, I may not have enough time for that. Some things take time. And then, yes, I decided to stay close to my family because my parents were my peers' grandparents' age. So, yes, my parents were from this silent generation. I got to tell them, the generation before the boomers, I heard you. I heard a lot of you. You were not silent. I did not hear silence. Silence is not the way I would describe that generation. Okay? I'm just admitting. But some of us got our work ethic beaten into us. But don't mollycoddle your children. Anyway, so I was thinking I had impingements and like bursitis. Yeah, shoulder impingements, but this one's all right. There's no cracking. There's no, but this one definitely, something's not right here. It feels like somebody took a crochet, and it's still stuck. That's what it feels like. I think I got stabbed in the shoulder. I know. And so, but it'll be at least 3 weeks before I go see the pain management doc. And then I'll have to schedule another 2 weeks later shots. But I may need to see the orthopedist because this might be something else, which is also affecting my neck. But like I said, I toss and turn an awful lot when I'm sleeping. It's just crazy. I would never, like, if I was in a relationship with someone right now, and that would be a male, by the way, uh, I would definitely just say straight out, like, We can get together anywhere you want to do the fun stuff, but I'll just sleep in my own bed to spare you, like the tossing and turning of me, like rolling pillows over. Like, sometimes there's cussing that comes out, bad, very bad language. Like the motherfucking pillow. Now I gotta move this piece of shit pillow down here. I can't. Right? And I am a little concerned about getting surgery where I have to, like, I can't lay on my sides when I get hip surgery. Like, oh shit. I I don't think I can do that because I have movement disorder, but it is, yes, I am one of those. I don't just have the Jimmy legs, I got the Jimmy arms and every other kind of thing. There's a lot of rustling around. Anyway, give me back my X account, please. Right. Well, I noticed a couple weeks ago somebody tried. X sent me something and said a login attempt had been tried from an iPhone. Well, I don't have an iPhone. Hello? Right. Well, I have contacted certain law enforcement, and I have contacted a lawyer, and I've also contacted an angel of the art variety, who I am now informing, yes, this is not okay. Okay. I know some of you don't believe in any of that, and that's fine. Right. I live in the US, so we're I know some people aren't, but I am. I don't usually talk about it a lot with other people, but if people consenting adults want to have a conversation about spiritual matters, I'm fine with that. Just you can't in the US. You really do kind of have to back off trying to convert everybody because there are there's quite a few spiritual paths, and it isn't for me to tell anybody which one they should be on. But anyway, I put stuff up online. I'm not here to win prize. I'm gonna put this channel will never be monetized. So if I played your music, that's an E in there. I'm not doing it for money. I'm just doing it to promote it, or just to let you know I like it, and sing with it, or dance with it, or whatever. It's just more like promoting. So yeah, that's not. It's I'm never gonna make. I'm not trying to make money off of it. But you can't take over Creasesinger Radio, right? Well, here's the other thing. Okay, and there might be some unseen who you don't know about. Well, they might be otherworldly, depending on how you want to look at it. So give me back my X account. Daddy Ranky. Right. Because I'm telling the one who I've been holding off this whole time. All right. You win. Go get him, Tiger. Especially you. Anyone can be found, is the point. Y'all got to understand, if you're going to go spiritual, like that, well, then anyone can be found. No matter how good you are at masking or doing anything online, I have seen some supernatural things in my life. Okay, so I live in the US and people believe a lot of different things. People practice different things. I try not to go dragging that into the ice hockey, nor do I really try dragging Jesus into things either. Okay, I know the monad. I am probably more Gnostic than some people might like, but you know, I remember because I remember, so my brothers remember, and a large portion of them are brothers from another mother. I mean, there is a divine spark, and some people think that stealing it or becoming someone else or right will get you what you want. But it doesn't. It ends up destroying the person. And there's some people who have broken minds because they participated in rather ill advised spiritual get togethers. All right. So, besides all that, all right, I'm not long for this world anymore. So, anybody who's trying to get me a job, I will. I'm done talking to the fake Brent Smiths and the fake Jeremy Renners and the fake Elons and the fake blah, blah, blah. And the scammers need to understand if human law enforcement doesn't get you, it doesn't mean you can't get God. I mean, it's clear I'm not going to be able to work enough and make enough money to purchase an NHL franchise, right? So I let go of it. I mean, I just let go of it. You know, if things had turned out differently, I would say something different. But I'm not afraid to die. And there are things, it's just, I, I don't care if I do them or don't do them. But I'm not going to warn you again when it comes to my ex account. Leave it be. Okay? Um, I mean, typically I'm a friendly to everybody. But some of you get too harmful for me, whether you realize it or not. So I can't. And well, yeah, self preservation in a sense. But I put stuff up online just in case at some point in time, while the internet still exists anyway, maybe someone will be guided to something. If you don't want to dance alone, then you can go to Creasesinger from Earth on YouTube and look around. And I do some dancing, I do some crying, I do some laughing, I do other things, right? And, dance with me online. If you like a good cry, yep, did that too. There's a lot of wrong, unfair things that are happening to me right now. And that's going to get straightened out immediately. But when it comes to ice hockey, I am very different from a lot of the people who claim to love the sport. And it is a sport, by the way. I mean, I don't really need to be entertained. Right? Like, some of it is. Right? But there's always like the stuff that happens in the intermissions. All right. I think it's always great when they get the little kids on ice. That's always great, right? But I understand hockey in such a way that I'm not going to ride that roller coaster with you, Jets fans, because you on some fucked up roller coaster that stops halfway down and blam throws you back and ground, like gives you whiplash and scares the shit out of children. I mean, no thanks. I'm too short. Too short. I'm too short to ride the roller coaster. And I have a shitload more respect for the people who play ice hockey in the NHL Jets system. There are a few of the press that might want to just sort of take a step back and try understanding that the fans don't understand. And those of you Jets 1.0 who remember Jets 1.0 are a little older. Let's just say those of us over 50, right? It's not the same ice hockey anymore. I mean, it just isn't. It's still the NHL. There's still similar rules. You know, it's still the Stanley Cup. But there have been like positive changes and you know, there's a little less, beating the shit out of each other or about the head and neck and all that. But you might need to let go of what you used to know. Some of you elders, likely elders to me, because then you won't get annoyed or frustrated as much. Like you might have to try and like relearn Jets 2.0 and right how the league operates. It is a little different. But yes, for anybody, it's okay. Try and have conversation with me. But I'm just going to say things out loud and put them out loud because it's just like, okay, well, I already caught a fake Mason. I mean, maybe I've caught a fake Illuminati, Illuminati. Okay. I mean, that seems a little ridiculous to me. Right. And then it might be the same one, just cycling around, asking me for what do you call an Apple card. Like, hey, well, I'm not a thief and I have nowhere to go to get one. So, again, as the source, the creative source of all light, which, by the way, right, from out of dark came light. Oh, and I had fun at the hospital. Yeah, I'm 53 and I've already been through that change, right? So, theoretically, none of my eggs are dropping. And apparently, you can actually test urine for females who, right, are not pregnant, and certain illnesses and medications will give you a false pregnancy claim. And unless I've immaculately conceived, I'm like, what? I'm what? No, I'm not pregnant. That can't be right. Yeah, no. I mean, I haven't forgotten how to do it or anything, but no. Yes, celibacy. I know some of you think that's like the world's worst thing. Yeah, it's not the world's worst thing. You get older and you don't really want to be just like, throwing it all around. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't know. Right. Anyway, I'm not pregnant, but that would be a fucking miracle right there. Point blank. I have been encouraged to go have lots of babies, but it'll have to happen next life because, yeah, this one is pretty much done. Right. Like people trying to tell me because of addiction, you don't want to take pills and so on. It's just, you know what? That's you, not me. And I do the best I can to keep up with all the medical stuff, but I can't. And, there are countries who have less stressed citizens because, you get a cold, you go to the doc. There are people in the United States who die from colds, especially little children and the elders. So, those of you who socialize healthcare, especially my Canadian friends, don't be so quick to judge your American neighbors. Okay? We don't have that in this country. Some jobs and employers don't provide an option for healthcare. And if they do, right, they don't pay for it. You have to at least pay half or the entirety. And little things like a cold that a parent can't take a youngster to a doctor, tries to, right, home remedy that, and there could be something else wrong. Right. And some of them don't want to go because they know they can't afford the bill. And a lot of companies stop providing an option to pay for health care or to even provide it, or even an option for half pay, or, okay, you can get it through us, but, right, you got to pay for the whole thing. Some health care is like $600 a month for one person. And then you got deductibles. You got all this other stuff. People have to decide between saving themselves or their pets or their children or their parent. And maybe they can't afford the internet. Maybe they can't afford groceries. People are stuck making some pretty shitball decisions, usually in an emergency situation in the United States. So, anybody with socialized healthcare, There's certain things that you don't have to go through, like U.S. American citizens do. I think it's wrong, but that's the way it's been. So I've gone about an hour. My voice is going. I'm just going to say what I say because everybody just needs to accept the fact, right, that I'm, right, much closer to being deceased than a lot of you, right, delusional types trying to tell me, oh, this, that, and the other. It's just like, well, my whole family's dead anyway. And all I do is get attacked and all kinds of stupid shit. And I want a fucking cigarette and I can't have a fucking cigarette. When the patches, nicotine patches, right, don't stick to your body if you get the generic brand through your insurance. Anyway, thank you very much for giving me back my X account. Please don't try and fuck with my X account. Right? Send me an email. Let's have a conversation. I mean, like, come on. Some of you got the kahunas to do that. And there's no need for anybody to hide from me because I'm not hiding from you. But this is a different kind of content. And it's more like a longitudinal thing. And, maybe at some point after I'm gone, I mean, yes, there's no way I'm going to make 70 years old people. I mean, I don't even think 60 is going to happen. Right. I'm going downhill pretty fast. So hopefully something that I have imparted out in public and left is helpful to somebody somewhere at some point in time and makes them feel slightly better about whatever. I mean, but for the people who are stuck in home, it's not just elders, it's, people from age 1 to 90 or more, right? Have illnesses, chronic illnesses that do a number, like certain, what do you call it? What do you call it? Yeah, I know. I'm totally not. I'm gonna have a very difficult day tomorrow. That's why I'm glad there's no hockey on tonight. Yeah, I can't think of the word. I'm really tired. So yeah. Anyway, music is for everyone now, including deaf people. Like, right? You can feel it, sense it. Like, go sit on a speaker. I know it's true. I mean, in some cases, it was a little too little, a little too late. But there's good reasons why I don't answer my DMs anymore. I'm not going to work till I die. That's wrong thinking. And it's unacceptable. And anybody in your lawyer, like, you think what's going to help me is to do a job I don't want, I haven't been trading on, right? Like, no, I guess I'm not taking that journey. Oh, fucking well, man. But the Winnipeg Jets can know I'm just going to cheer them on. I don't care what anybody says. I'm still rooting for Gus Nyquist. Get a Hattie. Crazy as that may be, I I know I accidentally called him NyQuil too, because that's why I'm like, yeah, well, if it's NyQuil to the other team, then fuck it. If the other team first starts falling asleep, hey, we got a pretty good chance. Right. Like, my name is Dr. Mia Lueth. And I know this thing skips around. This is terrible. Like, I'm awake. I know. I stop and freeze on the blink, 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 blink. I know I have very, yes, eyes when I smile. So when I smile, like, yeah, like I have to open my eyes for a while. I don't know. Otherwise, I look like I'm riced. Anyway, yeah. So, say what you want. Okay. I really am the live and let live kind of person. There are a lot of people, you really don't understand issues. And there are a lot of people, unfortunately, in this world who think you're doing, good and wonderful things. And I know that a lot of you will try and hide from or close doors or shut yourself off from somebody telling you that you haven't been doing good things and you've caused a lot of harm. I know. But wouldn't you like to know the truth of it? So you're not doing it anymore? I mean, anyway, go Jets.